What is up, family? Welcome to the BSBLR Show. It's time to yap some ball, guys. 30 minutes of baseball bliss coming your way. We're having a Didi party. Didi Gregorius, guys, just making sure. Very clean, very fun. No baby oil today. CC party also. So which one's better? A Didi party, a CC party? 52, retired by the Yankees. It is gone. And is Stanton going to hit 500 home runs? I don't know. We're going to dive into it today. How are we doing today, Bryce?
I'm doing good, man. Whether it's a DD or a CC party, I'm oiled up. I'm ready to go. Let's talk some baseball. I'm glad to be here, DR.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Baseball and blitz time. Home run if you like it, strikeout if you don't. Let's jump right into let's open a bag of chips and just dive into it. Giancarlo, does he play over 105.5 games this season?
I'm opening that bag of chips and getting the Dorito dust all over my fingers. Home run. I believe in a healthy-ish Stanton season. We're going 120, 130 games. We saw what he could do when he was on the field last year. I mean, just imagine if we could get him 500, 600 at-bats. I mean, I'd love to see what he could do and what the numbers he could put up. I want to see what it looks like, so I believe in it, DR.
I mean, it was crazy. In 77 games last year, guys, 24 home runs. If you put that close to a 162, we're talking like a 50 home run pace. Like, I know he can't really run, and now he can't open bottles of water. But, like, man, that dude can still hit that thing over the fence. As for 105.5 games, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I don't know if I'm going to swipe right or left. I'm just going to leave that one be. I don't want to put any bad juju out there, Bryce. It's just he's had some struggles. Last year was the big one. Otherwise, last 4 years, 139 games, 110, 101, 114. So he could. It just you watch him run up the bases and you're like, yeah, that guy's gonna play 140 this year. Makes me kind of go, So and he can't open up a bottle of water. His elbows are hurting. I'm hoping for the best for Giancarlo because it could get exciting.
Yeah, I mean, my grandma's in her 90s, and she could probably go first to third a little bit more efficiently than he could. That's just where he's at right now. But one thing you can't say about him is that he's lost his ability to hit. I mean, once he's in that box, he can still hit, and he's been dinged up, like you said, but you've still been able to pencil him in for like 115, 120 here and there. So I think he's going to hopefully give us something like that. I'd love to see a little bit more. But pivoting to our next question, same player here, DR, home run or strikeout. Will Giancarlo Stanton hit 500 career home runs? Is he going to get there?
I think I'm swiping right. I think he's going to. I really think so. I think that's a home run. I mean, we're talking a guy right now, guys. He's at 453 home runs. So I'm a math major, 47 more home runs to get there, right? And over the last 5 seasons, so 21 and on, 35 homers, 31 homers, 24, 27, 24. And that's with him playing that limited time. If he plays 100+ games the next 2 years, we're watching a guy who's going to hit 500 home runs, which just opens a weird conversation. It just opens a weird conversation, Bryce, and I think we got to talk about it. Like, is that Hall of Fame worthy?
Yeah, so I mean, Stanton, you look at it, he's about like a healthy Stanton season away from 500, but like 2 or 3 normal Stanton seasons away from 500. I mean, a clean 500's got to still get you in. I mean, I feel like it's always been that way. I don't know why we need to change it. 500 now almost feels more impressive than it did back then to a certain extent. I think that's a clean 500. I don't know how you can look at somebody who's able to do that and turn them away from Cooperstown. So 500 for me is synonymous with the Hall of Fame. Like I don't. There's no argument in my opinion for me.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it's one of those like, okay, was his like peak good enough to satisfy you? Because I think when it comes down to Hall of Fame, it's like, all right, longevity, counting stats are very important, but like you also have to be like, hey, how good was he when he was good? And that's where it's interesting because it's like past the Marlins days, there wasn't any of that. There's not any of that. Like, was he the best player out there? But like, dude, when you have a season, the MVP that he had in Miami, I think is enough to get him in that conversation of like, hey, he's gonna be at the very least close to knocking on the door of the Hall of Fame. If he gets 500 home runs, that is just a leap. That is that 5. If he hits 492, it might feel like he doesn't get in, which is crazy to say. It all is based off of like, it could be down to a couple home runs. It could be watching Mr. 3000, like it's that like, it feels like it has to come down to 500 homers for him. But I don't know, maybe when we talk about that, Yankees fans are just puking thinking about that. I don't know. I feel like there's a general consensus. It's a weird consensus within Yankees fans on how they feel about this guy.
Yeah, and it feels weird discussing Stanton's legacy. I mean, he could be a Hall of Fame player that we still go like, what if for? Like almost like with Ken Griffey Jr. I feel like we're that way too because of the injuries, as they got into their 30s. But Stanton's a guy, he's only played in 150 games 3 different times in his career, only once with New York as well. And this season's going to mean Stanton's now played more seasons with the Yankees than the Marlins. And so we're looking at a big chunk of time here with not a lot of games played. And so I hate thinking about, he could be at like 600, 700 home runs could be what we're talking about right now instead of 500. And so it is a bit of a complicated legacy when it comes to injuries and stuff. But like you said, I feel like that MVP kind of solidifies him. He feels iconic. Like he feels like an iconic power hitter for our generation. And so like I think 500 gets him there. I know it's complicated, but I think we could simplify it. Like for me, 500 clean, did it the right way. That's a Hall of Famer into the book.
Especially in today's age, man. It's just how many times are we seeing a true slugger like this? Like this feels like the same kind of level, and I'm not comparing him, but like a Jim Thome, where it's just like what he does is he doesn't really do anything else. If we're talking about the tools of Giancarlo Stanton, there's one. But that one tool is amazing. That dude can hit the long ball. And obviously, we're not seeing it at Thome hit over 600. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, as he should have been. I don't know if Giancarlo gets in like that. I actually have one thought that kind of, with talking about Giancarlo and not Hall of Fame related, it comes down to the contract. I think there's a lot of thought of like, hey, that's where I think some of the disdain from Yankees fans can come. It's not even just the player. It's the contract. Like, is that contract a failure?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're kind of paying him almost what you would pay a guy like Judge, and he doesn't put up those types of numbers. Like when they traded for Stanton, he was kind of supposed to be their guy. It was pre-Judge era, I feel like he was supposed to be their big heavy hitter. He was their new Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth. Not to compare him to those people, but he was supposed to be kind of the modern day equivalent. That superstar player for the Yankees. And he was not, you can't look at him and say he's bad in New York, but he was not a superstar in New York. This is not a perennial MVP candidate with the Yankees like a lot of people thought he was. Like I did not think his MVP days were over after he won that one with the Marlins. I thought, there was another one coming with New York. It was going to be iconic. He was going to be the man there. I thought that's what we were looking at, and it didn't happen. But at the end of the day, I still think he did enough in New York. I think there was enough to kind of, put the cherry on top of a career. But it's crazy because, like we were saying, he's spent more time in New York than Miami now.
Yeah,
so
weird.
It's so complicated. And there's so many different ways to look at it. But I just want to see him cap off his career in a great way. We look at it now. I mean, how many more people are going to get to 500 that are currently in MLB? Like that's a tough thing to profile out, and I don't know if there's any slam dunks right now other than maybe Stanton.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mike Trout hit 400, but who knows how the rest of his career is going to play out. Hopefully for the best. True center fielder there. But regardless, my take with the Giancarlo thing and the failure of a contract, if you want to say, the thing that saves him is his postseason. I think, like, let's say if he had a bad postseason career and just did really bad when he was in New York in the playoffs, like, yes, we would look at this as like a complete, like, what the fuck was this? But I mean, we're talking about a guy who has 18 home runs in the postseason. That's 10th most of all time.
Wow.
10th most of all time, 926 OPS. So like he is produced when it's mattered. And especially if we're talking about the team here, the team being the New York Yankees, what would you rather have? You already see the kind of hate that Aaron Judge gets. Like, and that was coming off of this last postseason where it's hard to say he had a bad postseason, but people are expecting him to be larger than life. And that's kind of what it was for Giancarlo for a stretch. Obviously not as much anymore, but maybe not this postseason, but last postseason, he was a certified hero. And obviously it didn't turn out into a World Series championship, which is what the Yankees are looking for. But like, I think his success in the postseason has at least bridged the gap into where you're not looking at the contract like what the fuck was that? It's not enough to be like, hey, did it work out? Not really, but he was the guy you needed him to be in those spots you need him at.
Yeah, that's a great point too, because I feel like on the outside looking in, if you're a Yankees fan, it's championship or bust every year. And so if you don't make it, like the year was a waste. But for everybody else, I feel like they're able to dissect his playoff success, even though they didn't go all the way. And they can look at that and be like, I mean, he was great in the postseason.
Yeah.
And I think even Yankees fans can admit that, even if they are mad, because if it's not a championship, then it wasn't successful to them. And I get that too, because I know the Yankees history. But
16 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I was let's see, 09. Let's see. I was 7 years old. I was 7 years old the last time the Yankees won a World Series. And look at me now. I pay taxes and
Still
stuff.
wearing diapers.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been a while, New York. So maybe adjust those, expectations a little bit. But jokes aside, great playoff performer and automatic for 500 home runs. He's got to get there, I think.
Will Connor Griffin make the opening day roster?
So 19-year-old phenom Connor Griffin, I am drinking the Kool-Aid. Put him on the opening day roster. Let's make this team exciting. Ozuna from the Braves, he's coming over to drink and drive in Pittsburgh, doing his thing. Like, he's crazy.
I'm Ozuna from the Pirates.
Ryan O'Hearn, he's a solid player, all-star last year, starting DH. I believe in him. He's going to have another good year. Like, let's make this team fun to watch. Let's put Skeens on the pitcher's mound. Let's have a god-awful outfield defense with O'Hearn and Reynolds out there. And let's put Connor Griffin at shortstop. Like, why not? What do we have to lose? Like, if he continues to look good in spring and he shows that he's ready, I say we do it. So I'm going to home run. He's going to be on that opening day roster.
I mean, what do you have to lose? I mean, you got to fill out some seats, right? How much is there been a hitter in the organization since Andrew McCutchen that the Pirates have been this excited for? I don't think so. Not that
Gregory Polanco.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Starling Marte was hot shit for a little bit, but like past that, like this is sheer excitement from not even just Pirates fans, guys. Like this is nationwide. This guy's 19. He looks like a superstar. You watch that swing and you look at him and you're like, that guy's 25. And he's going to be 19 opening day. And at this point, like if you look at what he's done in the minors last year, he consistently got better. In low A, he had a 150 WRC plus. In high A, he had a 170 WRC plus. And in double A, he had a 175. Like this guy is ready. And all of his tools are insane. It's not like he just can hit, guys. He can hit, but he had 60 stolen bases last minor league season in 119 games. Like this guy can swipe bags, and he is a 60 tool grade at everything. At everything. For example, Kevin McGonigal, the number 2 prospect in baseball, he has like 3 tools that are under 60. And it's just the 2 hit tools. And that's the number 2 prospect. Like Connor Griffin looks like he is the guy. He is showing in spring training thus far that he's not overwhelmed. And what do you have to lose? Like he balled out. He had a 940 OPS last year in minor leagues. It's like, hey, what does it hurt to run him out there, get some fans' asses in the seats and show who Connor Griffin is? I think he could be an all-star.
Yeah, I mean, one term I like to use when it comes to somebody like Connor Griffin is he has cover athlete potential. That's what he has. I put him in the same boat as like a Roman Anthony, Nick Kurtz, like young superstars. You're going to see them on MLB The Show covers. Topps is going to use them in baseball card marketing. He is the future. Like I put Connor Griffin in that boat. And I believe, 10 years from now, we're going to be looking at Connor Griffin as one of the best players in MLB. Now, is that going to be in Pittsburgh 10 years from now? Probably not, if I'm being honest with you. Do I hope so? Yes. But, I mean, that opens up another can of worms with, should they throw him a little pre-arbitration extension? I think that could be a good idea. But I truly believe in Connor Griffin 100%.
I think it should be a must. It sounds like there's whispers of it happening, but, like, if you're the Pirates, you can't screw this up. You just can't screw it up. You've already screwed up Paul Skeens from the looks of it. From the looks of it, you had a Hall of Famer walk through your doors, and you were just like, we'll see if he's good before we think about throwing him some money. Now it's too late. Like, now it seems like it's unaffordable to get Paul Skeens because he showed up on the scene and he was exactly what you wanted him to be. You could have noticed that. You could have taken a risk. All of these small to mid-market teams are doing stuff like that. Buying out those arbitration years, giving them an 8-year, 9-year, 10-year deal, being like, hey, we'll still pay you, but we're gonna make sure you're here for a significant chunk of time. They had that opportunity, they missed it with Skeens. You cannot miss this with Connor Griffin. You just cannot miss this. Like, this seems like a layup. Right now, you have the highest bit of leverage that you will have. If he walks out there on the field and he shows that, oh, hey, I'm the number one prospect in baseball and I'm an all-star, like, you lost that leverage and immediately he doubles in price. Like, you have to take this risk. If you lose on this, that's one of those that I don't think you're going to get crushed for. Number one prospect in baseball, looks like a stud. You got to pay the guy.
Yeah, I mean, and we all know this is a risk. I mean, I see the Red Sox, they gave Christian Campbell a big extension about a year ago, and his career looks a bit up in the air. I think he's going to figure it out, but still, it looks a little, that contract looks a little tricky now. But with Connor Griffin, like you said, I don't think anybody's going to fault you for going for it with him. Even if it didn't work out, I think people are going to look back and go, well, I mean, we all believed in Connor Griffin. And that's the thing that I think it's going to work out. You cannot mess this up, like you said. Like, I can't say that any louder. I mean, you cannot fumble Connor Griffin. Like, he needs to be the guy in Pittsburgh. He needs to be your next McCutchen type figure. Like, Connor Griffin is the man. Push him forefront. It's probably too late to get an extension on Skeen, so who knows what that's going to be like in the future with him. But make Connor Griffin the face of the future in Pittsburgh. That's what I'm thinking.
100%.
Yeah, and so we are going to move on now to another NL team. Maybe not exactly having a ton of phenoms coming through the pipeline. A few young guys to be excited. The Philadelphia Phillies, DR, are they going to win over 89.5 games, home run or strikeout?
That's such an interesting line, man. That's such an interesting line, and I love this team. I'm going to say under, and I just think there's going to be more of a resurgence in their division. So last year, great team, obviously winning 90 plus games. Awesome team. I think they still are a World Series contender. I still think that they have a lot of really good pieces, but you got to imagine you're still missing Zach Wheeler for a month and some change probably. So that rotation right now looks And the resurgence of the NL East, I don't think the Mets are missing the playoffs again. I don't think the Braves are winning 75 games again. So you're looking at that's within your division who are probably stealing some wins from you. And who knows about the Marlins? The Marlins could literally be a 500 team. There's a lot of positive things that could happen over there and show some sort of competitive fire. So I think your division is going to improve, which means they're going to steal wins from you. And I just don't think with the age that's happening, losing a month or two of Zach Wheeler, that it feels like you're going to win 93 games.
Yeah, I got to go under here too. And my biggest question, like you kind of hinted at, is the starting rotation. I mean, they lose Suarez to the Red Sox. I mean, he's a legit 2-3, probably a 2. How much are we going to trust Aaron Nola at this stage of his career? I know what Aaron Nola can be, but what is Aaron Nola now? Andrew Painter, I mean, I think he definitely has potential. But, it looked a little rough last year in the minors for him. What's his role going to be like? How much do they trust Andrew Painter? It's a lot of questions there. And then I feel like that's a team with a bit of drama, too. I mean, we had the Castellanos thing. I know he's gone now. But Bryce Harper kind of goes public like he's beefing with Dave Dombrowski, to reporters and stuff about the elite comments and stuff. I feel like that has to rub people the wrong way, maybe in the locker room, which I'm not in there. I don't know. But it's something, though, that makes you worry a little bit if you're a Phillies fan. And so this team could be a little bit chaotic with a lot of question marks. People are getting older, What does Real Muto look like now? I know you brought him back. There's a lot of question marks. I'm going to have to go under here. A lot's got to go right to win more than 90 games for me.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of interesting spots here because I think the top part of the lineup, you got to love Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, some dudes. But after that, it gets a little murky. I mean, you got Alec Boehm, Brandon Marsh, good against righties. Adolis Garcia, if you forgot about him, but he had a horrible hitting season last year. So Bryson Stott's still in there. Real Muto, 35-year-old catcher now. Justin Crawford's going to get full time there. I think he could be a really good player and could create some mess there. So I kind of like the thought of that. But again, Aaron Nola's your 3. Right now, at the moment, Aaron Nola's your 3, and he had a 6 ERA last year. I don't think that's a particularly great spot to be in. The top half really, it'll be, as soon as you get Zach Wheeler back, it's going to feel a lot better. because then all of a sudden everything kind of shifts into play. You bring a true ace back in your rotation, that helps. But who knows what happens in that first month and a half when they're missing him? You know, like you could be 500. These other teams could take a big step in the right direction, and all of a sudden it's like, ooh.
Yeah, but I mean, by the time Wheeler comes back, you could be, 8 games out of the division. Like, it's entirely possible. You get off to a rough start, and you've already got to dig yourself out of a hole like that. I mean, that could ruin a whole season right there, no matter how good Wheeler is. But at the same time, Wheeler could come in and elevate this Phillies team to a playoff team. I could also see that happening. Aaron Nola could come back and be an all-star level pitcher again. I mean, I could talk myself into this team all day, but I just feel like there's too many questions to where I got to step back and be like, I'm not sure this is the year. And I'm kind of worried about the Phillies' long-term window in general, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, and you have to kind of go back to this offseason, Bryce, when you think about it too, because there was opportunity. This was a very interesting offseason with free agents. And you heard the comments. It was like, hey, we're not running it back, but they kind of ran back the same team with a little less without Ranger Suarez. Like, it feels very interesting to see what the vision is for the future of this team. Because again, very, very old, a lot of age here. I mean, we're looking up and down that lineup. You have 32, 33, 33, 33, 34. That's a lot of 30s.
Yep.
In a like mid 30s in a lineup. And those are all your mega paid players. So what's that going to look like at the tail end of those contracts? Because again, Kyle Schwarber just signed a 5-year. Do I think he's going to be bad? I think he's the least of the worries in terms of how age is going to impact. He's a slow pitch softball player, essentially. So like, I think he'll age just fine. Grab a couple of Budweisers in there, and he'll be fine. But yeah, we'll see how it times out with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about age too. I mean, I do think somebody like Schwarber is going to age well, but we look at what does somebody like Trey Turner age? How does somebody like that age?
Yeah, speed is their best tool. Yeah,
JT Realmuto, we're already seeing him age. I mean, it's just, and one thing we see a lot of these guys when they get older, their ability is still there, but their ability to stay healthy is not too. I mean, Schwarber could still give you 40 homers like we see with Stanton, but injuries might become a concern. Like, there's just a lot of question marks when guys get in their mid-30s like that.
100%. We're going to move on to the deep dive. We are going to dive into the Yankees a little bit. I know we talked Giancarlo, a little different topic here. The Yankees have retired number 52, CC Sabathia. So Hall of Famer, but this kind of surprised me a little bit, to be completely honest. When I saw this, I was like, I know he played a lot of time, 11 years in New York. But when I think about the peak and the best times of CC Sabathia, I think about that Brewer year. that you retire him as a Brewer? I think, all jokes aside, like when I looked at this, it was interesting because it's like CC Sabathia, he is absolutely a Hall of Famer. What a great peak that he had. 2007 to 2011, we're talking multiples, top 5 Cy Young years and really good performance. But I think about those, I think a little bit of that prime feels like it was more at the tail end of that Cleveland time, and especially that last season when he got traded to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I was surprised, and then I looked at the numbers, and I was like, well, I mean, this does kind of make sense. First off, I was surprised that he spent 11 seasons in New York. It felt like it was not that long. That made me, but I mean, he's there from what, 09 to 2019. I mean, he won the World Series his first year there. But like you said, he was definitely an ace with the Yankees, especially in the first half of his tenure. We can give him that. But it felt like he was an ace his whole time with Cleveland. And then that half 17 starts, whatever it was with Milwaukee, that felt like peak CC. So it feels like, yes, the Yankees got a superstar and he was their ace, but it didn't feel like they got peak CC. And I feel like that's just because, he finished his career there with New York. So we got to see a bit of the decline, and so that's kind of what's fresh in our minds. And so we don't think of CC maybe at the peak of his powers with the Yankees. But at the end of the day, I mean, most innings there, he's got a lower career ERA with New York than he has with Cleveland. That surprised me a bit too. And so as I kind of dug into it, I was like, well, this makes sense for me. Hall of Famer as a Yankee, World Series champ. He hits all the marks. I mean, so it does make sense. But I was a bit surprised at first.
No, it did take me. I was like, that was my first reaction. Maybe shame on me when I looked at it. I was like, really? And then after you kind of look at it, you're like, okay, it makes sense. The question for me I look at is like, how many more in 100 years? how many more numbers are we going to have available for the Yankees? I mean, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 through 10 gone. 15, 16, 20, 21, 23, 32, 37, 42, 44, 46, 49, 51, 52. It's going to be like, no wonder Aaron Judge was 99.
And that one's going to be retired too.
Yeah,
I mean, you got one thing too, to bring back to Stanton. If he gets 500 homers, goes in the Hall of Fame as a Yankee, do they retire his number?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hitting the same marks that CC had. I mean, not a World Series champ, but you get 500 homers, make the Hall of Fame, go in as a Yankee. I mean, how do you say no to that? I mean, that sounds like a number retirement too.
Yeah.
How selective are they going to have to be in the future? It gets
very interesting.
Because I feel like you could almost pencil. You could definitely pencil in Judge, and you could almost pencil in Stanton. That's 2 more numbers right there.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna have it's gonna be like Tom Jones, number 71. Dude, they're gonna have to run out like NASCAR, 100 number. They're just gonna have to get it's gonna have to get crazy. It's gonna be the number 111 for the Yankees this year in 2098.
We're gonna be seeing their best players wear number 76 or something like that in a few years.
It's gonna have to, dude. It's gonna come down to free agency. People are gonna be like, but dude, I love number 3. My number's number 3. I can't go to the. I'm gonna have to wear but I'm gonna have to wear 63. I'm gonna have to play O-line. I'm gonna have to play offensive guard for the New York Yankees. It's I don't want that.
They're just putting 3A on the jersey, 3B.
It's 000 in today.
03 is gonna be a different number than just 3. Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot. There's options here. We're just Yankees. We'll take our opinions here. Take our opinions. But
I guess when Jeter left, there was no more single digit numbers, right?
No, 1 through 10.
That's
1
wild.
through 10 is gone. Yeah, you have
0
1 through 10. I don't know if they allow 0.
They might
not. Do they have Stroman? Does Stroman 0? I know Stroman
wears 0.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he did with the Yankees. I know he did with the Cubs. But regardless, let's hop into another Yankee. I didn't even realize when we set up this show, we got a lot of Yankee shit. It's time for the Didi party. It's time for the Didi party.
Oil
up. Didi party. Didi Gregorius, people. The Hall of Pretty Gooder. Talk to me about it, Bryce.
Yeah, so 85% of over 47,000 votes. So within 24 hours, 47,000 people showed up to vote. It was a pretty cool vote. For the first time ever, we had a minor league team get involved in the voting. The Reno Aces, the AAA team for the Diamondbacks, collabed on everything, made some graphics for Didi. The Netherlands national team collabed on it too. Everyone was showing love for Didi. But the coolest part about it was, Didi had a big role. I feel like everyone knows he had to come in and replace Jeter, and nobody could have done it better. I feel like back-to-back seasons with MVP votes in 2017, 2018, above a 100 OPS plus, in those seasons with the Yankees. I know before it and after it, I feel like the bat wasn't quite the same. But man, when he got to New York, he clicked. We see guys kind of falter in New York, Sonny Gray struggled in New York a bit, great everywhere else. Didi was the type of person who played better in New York, which I feel like is so rare and definitely deserves some appreciation.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking at the 2018 year where he had 27 home runs, batted .268, 829 OPS, 20th in MVP. And for me, it's when he hit a home run, it just had a look to it. And it had just a sick look. He just pimped it so nicely. And that's just whenever I think of Didi, I think of just cool home runs.
Yes, I think of that home run against Cleveland. He touches home plate. He gives that little hand sign to the camera. The way he could wrap one around that porch, man. Something about it looks special. I remember his bat was a wood that always looked, light colored, that light colored wood to it. The way he swung that bat, it looked like it was going 500, 600 feet every time. I don't want to hear the porch merchant, complaints from everybody, because, you could go sign there too if you're in the MLB, if you think it's so easy and hitting short porches.
And wear number 71, yeah.
If it was so easy, Bob from across the street would be hitting them out of Yankee Stadium every day, but they're not. So I don't want to hear it. Legitimate. He filled the shoes of an icon in all of baseball. Jeter had that Jordan LeBron type of feeling about him in baseball. And so one of the toughest jobs ever, and he did it in a
Totally.
way not many people could.
100%. You know, thank you for attending the Didi party, guys.
Yeah.
It's a great Didi party. I can't wait for the next one. So we're moving on to the Tinder swipes. Very odd timing. So we have Didi party and Tinder swipes. Very odd timing. Very oily. Very oily. A Hall of Pretty Good. We have 3 potential Hall of Pretty Gooders here. Swipe right if you think they're a legend. It should be enshrined. Swipe left if you think they shouldn't. I'm going to start out with Joe Creedy.
Okay, so I love Joe Creedy, but I got to swipe left. I don't think he's got quite enough to get in the Hall pretty good. I don't think that back held up. And it's really unfortunate because, I mean, we can laugh all day, but when Joe Creedy was healthy, I mean, he was one of the better third basemen in the game. I mean, he had a 30 homer season with like 94 RBIs, helped the White Sox get that '05 championship, but it just didn't last. I mean, I look at his career numbers, OPS plus below 100, less than 15 B WAR, I think less than 800 hits. The counting numbers just aren't there for the way people vote. And so, do I think Joe Creedy was a pretty good ball player? Yes. I just don't know if it was a Hall of Pretty Good career. And I hate to say that, but if I'm being honest, it's how I feel, DR.
I would wonder how he would fare, because I think that it's a widely, especially amongst Southsiders, it's a widely loved player, Joe Creedy. Obviously, like when you win a World Series, there first one out, however long, you're gonna have some bright spots from fans' minds, and especially in that 2006 season. So he wins a World Series, was a hero in the World Series, comes out that next year, hits 30 jacks, 4.8 WAR over at third base, playing great defense. Like some people, I would be surprised. I think you vote no, but I would vote no as well on the entirety of the career. I think he might fare better amongst America, but we would see.
And I would hope that would be the case. I'd love to see him get in. Now, moving on to our next name, though, when you brought this guy up and, we were discussing some names, I was like, this is a pull, DR. You know ball. Jeff Jenkins. Is he a future Hall of Pretty Good, or DR? What a pull.
Hell yes, swiping right, dude. Jeff's jungle, bro. When I was a young fan, I remember I'd be in Miller Park. I'm from Wisconsin, and we'd be up there watching like a Cubs Brewers game, and Jeff Jenkins was just like a pretty good ball player. Like just kind of scratch him down for 20 something home runs, 28, 25 home runs, around 800 OPS every year. Like just scratch him down. It's like, okay, like Jeff is going to do what he does. Jeff is going to be a pretty good ball player. And he was just a fun watch. I remember. And I was just like, the first time I ever saw Jeff spelled like that. And I don't know if that attracted me to it. I was like, that's kind of a sick player. It's Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, he was the type of guy, he showed up 10 or 11 seasons, did his thing, and then called it a career. Solid. 834 career OPS, 114 career OPS plus. What more do you want out of a ball player? I mean, perfect. I mean, he's got to be in. We wouldn't be a Hall pretty good if it weren't for people like Jeff Jenkins, in my
pretty
opinion.
good ball players.
Yeah, you look at that man, he's pretty good at baseball. Like that's the perfect way to describe.
That's like your definition player is a Jeff Jenkins. Is what that is. One more for you to end this day and start off a good weekend. Jose Iglesias. Oh my God.
First off, the Usher song is better. It's better. Usher and will.i.am, better song. Look, I love Jose Iglesias. He was supposed to be the guy for the Red Sox, defensive stud when he was coming up. He was kind of Detroit's starting shortstop there for a minute for those good teams, but I don't think he quite has enough. He's got 1,200 hits, which is nice. That OPS plus is low. The offensive numbers are low. He was an all-star too, but sub 15 WAR. It's tough for these lower WAR guys to get into the Hall pretty good from what I've seen. People care a lot about WAR, which I understand, but I'm not quite sure it's there. But I wouldn't count out on him resurrecting his career. Every time it seems like he's dead, he signs with Baltimore. He signs with the Mets. Like you said, he put up the most B WAR ever for his career in a season with that Mets season. He played 85 games. Maybe we haven't heard the last of him. I hope not. I love Jose Iglesias.
And this just goes my argument, and I've talked to you about it, Bryce, before. It's these style of players that the Hall looks down on. I think they look down on him. This style of player, it's just so hard. It's like these defensive wizards who didn't have a super long career, but always were hey, you never were oh, I can't wait to watch Jose Iglesias come to the plate tonight. But he's a good ball player, He's a pretty I won't say a solid ball player, right? Those solid ball players, maybe not quite pretty good. I feel like they get left out a little bit, Bryce. And I'm every week I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to fight for the Iglesiases, for the oh my god type of players. I think they deserve a little love. The Nick Puntos get shit on here. We can't allow that. There's something's got to give, and I'm going to try to make it happen. Whether I have to Didi Gregorius that thing or not. Whether we have the DD party, CC party, we'll make it happen.
Whoa.
Okay. I got a little fired up for that rant there. I apologize.
I respect it. I'm just the messenger. I love these players. You know, I gotta go with how America votes. You know, how the people vote. I gotta be a man of the people. But I do hope the Hall of Pretty Good at some point becomes a place for these types of players too, because they were definitely pretty good. They were.
This is some political garbage right now from the commissioner right here. I'm going to let people know that he's going up for re-election. When is re-election?
It's a monarchy. Life.
Oh, yeah. You're just the dictator. The dictator of – he's the king. King Hall of Pretty Good. But thank you guys for tuning in for our 36 minutes of Baseball Blitz today, guys. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you follow us here on Spotify or wherever you're listening. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, make sure you click that subscribe button. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will talk to you guys soon. Peace.